this is still a sniper map through and through. Like, it's going to be hard to play Brawl here. It's still not built for it. The sightlines are long and narrow. 4 maps have been reworked in Overwatch, and 4 maps largely play the same. This series is just going to run you through the changes and how you can play around those changes, but for the most part, I don't think any of these maps have substantially changed. They just feel a little more fun to play. I'm working on a very large project right now, so I decided to just have a couple of quick videos for the week, but you will get something very interesting very soon. I hope you look forward to that. Also, you should subscribe. Thank you. All right. Starting with circuit here, I think that there isn't too much to go over with the spawn here. It's in order to stop the close spawn holds, which on circuit were not that good overall. But you do have a little bit of cover in case somebody does want to peek you at the beginning. So if you're on defense here, it's going to be a little riskier trying to go for those opening picks. And there's a lot more ways that they could come at you. So I think that's kind of like just the overwhelming options is going to deter the super early sniper pick. As we go in, you know, just regular. In here, I think this is a really good change for the attackers, because a lot of times, you know, an attacker would try to go into this little room and maybe create a little angle, and then they get stuck in here, they find the tank, and then it's just not a great look. The attackers now have another way to escape that puts them back into safety when that does not go as according to plan, but it also gives them high ground. It gives them a little contest over there. So you can go for a bit more of a cheeky angle and be a little safer if you're on attack, and I think that is pretty good. Here, you can notice these barriers have these things on top of them now. It'll allow you to actually play behind these without having fear of Widow randomly finding a headshot, and if you're here, you're going to be less likely to get grappled on, which I think is also really important. And to get out of here, you have a very good option instead of having to run forward. So long as you have a distraction, like a tank taking space or another DPS, you can slip into this little room and then come up here. And then from there, of course, you can either go all the way here. And, you know, I think what's really important about this is that it denies the angle from main. So this can be a really good spot if you want to contest the high ground, but you're afraid of a sniper down here. This could be a really good way for you to go. Or if they think they're going to come here, you actually do have 2 options, right? Instead of actually popping out of that window, you could just pop right back here, and you are safe from there. So basically, wherever you go now on attack, you're going to have less sightlines on you at any one time. So it's going to be, in theory, much safer for you. So that is really good for the attackers, right? And then I think this point generally is going to play the same, although I guess the changes 2 seconds just make this not as oppressive. But yeah, in general, I think this is going to play roughly the same. If I'm not mistaken, this mini is a little further away from this statue. So it's actually worse for you to try and go take this mini because you're going to put yourself into LOS. And same for the defenders here, right? There's a possibility where you put yourself in a worse position. So that's important to note there. Going on to second here, a lot of times when you would take this, you'd have to hug this wall. Now remember, this hill is shorter, but you'd have to hug this wall as to not get your head blown off and not give them a good sightline. But now you actually have some contest over on this side. If you find your opportunity, now you have a better contest of that angle, and also you can kind of peek your little head over here and see if you can contest the corner or this little thing in the middle. That's the advertisement thing, which is also pretty good. A lot of times a tank will want to hold this corner, or even just like a DPS looking for a flank. You have really good contests on them. Also, similarly to first point, you have a good wraparound here. You get some space, you get some time. You can go up here and contest this area and give yourself more space. So always, I think that is really good. And of course, you can wrap all the way around. So if you're on a flanker, maybe like a tracer, this could be a safer route than, I say a safer route than under. I don't think that's necessarily true, but it could be one that they aren't expecting, and they might be watching other areas. To be honest with you, you probably should just take this route still if you are trying to flank. But if you are in a long range hero, like a Ashe, a Widow, a Hanzo, getting over there is going to be much easier, much more efficient for you. Also, I do think like this is still a sniper map through and through. Like it's going to be hard to play Brawl here. It's not as it's still not built for it. The sightlines are long and narrow. It's just not as oppressive when you play these compositions against each other. It opens up the map more. It's not as linear. Again, this part is going to be largely the same. So we're going to go ahead and go on to third here. Third, I think, is kind of strange because, again, this part is very similar. I think that door is as wide as it used to be. It's going to be up here. So once you get through the door and you want to start attacking, this area is when this map kind of opens up a little more, right? So you've got a couple more flank routes. So I didn't even notice this door was here. So this is actually really good for kind of flanking in and coming around, and then you can just kind of play this angle. Pretty safe if, you know, a tank is trying to hold this corner, which they often will. You can put a lot of pressure on them. That's going to be really good for those flanking DPS. Up here, this is typically a very sniper-oriented area. You throw your Widow or your Hanzo up here. It is wider now, so it's going to be worse for them. But also, since this whole area has been reworked, it's wider. There's more cover. There's more things. It's not going to feel as bad to push up here, and you should push up here. This is very important. This space is very important because you get a very good view onto the point, and also now you get a view onto the very end of it. So taking this is going to be good. I would recommend coming up here with maybe 1 or 2 people, and then you can, you know, create some soft angles here. With a tank, it'll be really nice. Tank can push up to this statue and play here. Force the sniper away, basically. Without them having to take somebody, right? I think a lot of times you would try to, like, push in and you just can't go anywhere. Sigma shield might break, and then boom, somebody gets their head blown off behind you, and it all falls apart. Now you have some natural cover, and let Sigma play the slower game, or whatever tank you have, right? Now, also very important to note is that since this archway is higher, this can be a double-edged sword, right? So when you are in this position, you have to now remember that they can see you there. So even if you're attacking and you take this high ground, you go, okay, nice. Before, it would kind of be worthless because you could only see here and then you couldn't get inside at all. Now you can actually contest these angles, but if you are distracted with somebody down here, somebody could spawn and come there. So it is a bit of a different dynamic. You have to be a lot more aware if you're going to take that positioning. But yeah, I think that is mainly Circuit. They did change this room up a little bit. I don't think it is that different. I don't remember if the mini was there or not, but I think overall Circuit is going to play largely the same. Again, it is making it a little more, what's it called? Smoothing out some of the pain points of this map. This is a sniper map. It is long and narrow. Nothing will change about that. But at least there are more options you can play here. And I think that trying to play like flankers, I think Genji was something people like to play on attack here, just to get up these like insanely vertical places and contest the snipers. Maybe he's going to be a little more viable. Tracer a little more viable. But typically, if it doesn't work on Circuit, it probably still won't work on Circuit very well unless you're extremely coordinated. And at that point, it probably already worked on Circuit anyways. So that is going to be Circuit. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below what do you think about the new map reworks, and like the video while you're at it. This was streamed live, twitch.tv/Lane Hemingway. That's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is when I am live. And if you would like 3 free months of Twitch membership to my channel, you can join my Discord down below and enter my little giveaway sorts of things. You will be predicting the nominees for Game of the Year, and if you are the most accurate, you will get that. Everything you need to know is down below in there. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day.